Hey, it's Chicks. Welcome or welcome back. I have never been the artist. You know the type. In every group of friends, there's that one person that you all point to when you need something creative done. I've always been more of the clean, good handwriting type. I make good notes. I make pretty notes. I'm the girl you copy your notes from. I've never been the doodly notes girl. I make nice titles, clean handwriting, great notebooks, and then I draw on the side. So I've never been the one that you would go to if you need something drawn, but I have always loved art and enjoyed creating. I've just never relied on it before. Relied on it? Is that the proper term? Mm, I've never thought of me as an artist before. And I think part of the problem is that even though I create art in my very loose sense of the word, I've always known that there are some things that are more typical than others. Like I said, I write well and I can do good lettering, but it took me a while before I actually delved into sketching, as well as my favorite type of art now, which is painting. I had a problem with trying new things, always thinking that I don't deserve to. I'm not an artist, and further, I'm not a good enough artist. And that's just not the way it's supposed to go. Art, like other things, is a never growing talent. There is no end to learning about art, about all the options, all the medias, and the skills. It is an experiment, and a beautifully laid out experiment at that. There is no end to all the permutations, and there is no need to stop. Your limitations are only ever yourself. I missed out on this information while I was growing up. Take note though that I wasn't consciously stopping myself from becoming whoever I want to become as an artist. I would simply have more and more ambitious thoughts and either never get to doing them or completely forget that I actually did something well enough and then keep going about it. To bypass this reflex of mine, I've found that I work best with experimenting on little things at a time. I don't jump into something entirely new right at the beginning. I just end up doing something I really do enjoy in a way that's slightly different from before. For example, this is my first time creating digital landscapes. I love creating landscapes. I've drawn and painted them before multiple times, but I haven't made a landscape painting digitally before, and these two are my first. I delved into creating something I am already confident about in a manner that I've never tried before. I experimented a little at a time until I could finally try this new thing out. These two paintings are called Ice and Fire, simply because they were meant to be complements in terms of hue. I wanted to push the typical emotions the colors would convey: calm in blue and energetic and fiery in red. I also attempted to include more recognizable shapes for either, just to create a more holistic approach with a pair series rather than just putting things together like Mod Podge. Maybe I should quickly mention what I was trying to do with this painting. Whenever I create the landscape, especially recently, I've been doing it by picking out a palette beforehand. I mashed two different things together: a very simple, usually light colored pastel palette with very minimal colors, as well as an idea of how a landscape could look like. I try to put them both together and I try to figure out how they could end up looking like a landscape, looking like it's still a landscape, even when I'm using very limited palette and a very, very simplified approach. So the reason why I'm talking over this painting as opposed to the first one is because I realized I enjoyed this more than the other one. And I think it might be because I used a bit less details and focused more on the emotions I wanted it to portray and how I really wanted this painting to look like as a whole. In the other one, in the first one, I think I got lost in the details and in the foreground aspects that I kind of forgot what I was trying to portray in the painting. Overall, no matter what, this is the lesson I've been trying to say for today. Don't be worried about trying new things, but if you're thinking of trying something new and you're feeling stuck and unsure of what to do, go ahead, try a small, tiny change first. Mash together two things, one that you're familiar with and one that you're not, and maybe it would be the step for you to experiment further. So thanks for watching, you guys. Let me do the usual end card stuff. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see more photos like this, more time lapses. I usually upload on Instagram more often than here. And until next time.